There we go. Got a playlist in the background. Hello everyone for the future, because, well, right at this point, I've just popped the stream out of nowhere. So we'll join up later in a minute. So hello. We are doing an art stream for the first time. Yes, because honestly, I don't think many people pay attention to the content other than the live stream to just see me as a guy who yells on streams at a friend who hates them for it. So we're doing an art stream today. This is my current project. Check it out. Now I've also got, just for anyone to know, I do have my, even though I use my tablet for the art right now, but I normally use it in streams for the chat. Thankfully, though, I'm able to put that up on a top thing so that I can see anyone talking to me right now. So I'll be responding, even though I don't have chat on the overlays yet. We're working on it. I'm very bad at this and slow. So this is the current project, everyone. Look at this. This is a drawing hand. We're going to animate it eventually, but right now we have to get the dimensions right. Now listen, I am dog tier trash at doing art. You might think, oh, but you made your Vtube model. Yes, you don't understand how long it takes me to draw a simple thing and make it look good. I mean, look at it. Do you know how long it took me just to make these like curves and stuff? And I don't even think it looks great. I think it still has a bit of odd things because it's artifacts from the last drawing and it keeps on going and going and going. It's so bad. Anxiety of art is awful, everyone. Even if it looks good to you in some cases, it might just be an amalgamation of accidents. The artist just decided it looked better than the other stuff they did. It took me days alone just to get the freaking little cuff of the arm going right, okay, and looking good. I struggled on that until I decided to do it straight and everything else. So this is my little art stream. For anyone who wants to jump in, chat, chill, and watch me draw terribly with a little playlist of some YouTube things that I got from YouTube Studio and everything I thought were good. And also this is kind of a precursor of future model improvements later, but very interesting thing is look at the number. I mean, you probably can't see them all behind my model for the most part, but you can see a little scrolling. I have a lot of layers. That's from various attempts that I gave up on and everything else, but you can tell with the model, it looks okay. It looks good, in fact, but it doesn't look great. A lot of things are odd. I haven't quite decided how to go with a lot of things and stuff. We have the weird. We're going to do some tune-up. We're basically going to be working on this. I have spent a long time in this hand already, and honestly, the easiest part for me, I just pop it here, the pen. This was easy, everyone. That's the, not the right pen. Let me see. If I do this, there we go. There, it's straight and everything else. I've been using the art program to spin it around a little bit and rotate it. It's a little ability we have with Credo where I can just go woo with it, you know, kind of give it a little fake thing. I can do a lot better in Live 2D with it, and that's what we do. This is just mostly a placeholder to see what I'm going to be trying to do with it. A lot of the hand stuff, though, is as is. I'm trying to figure out what we got here to work with. Another thing is probably put the pen a little like in half right over here. Let me see if I can get a nice little line to show you guys. Like, oh, that's the wrong thing. Bad art. So right here, like a cut in half right there, right? And the reason being is this part will be above the hand, and this part can be beneath the fingers. That will make it kind of look a little bit more real and stuff, or other things, and like it's being gripped on and stuff like that. If we take it off, you can kind of see how the fingers look and stuff. I'll smooth that a little with blur later, but I'm gonna get all the design ready first. Everything's got to be harsh and pixelated so that I can fill in better. I'm sure there's better ways. Artists know what they're doing. I have absolutely no clue. And honestly, I don't even expect anyone to kind of see this video much and stream, because I decided to do it at night just in case somebody, you know, cared. No one's gonna care. It's fine though. That's all the whole point of this is to kind of get a little bit of art streams started. I don't expect anyone to appear for this, but if you do, I'm here and I have the chat up. So we're gonna start trying to look at what we need to fix on this thing. I lose my mouse all the time, so forgive me a bit. I'm also going to be checking the stream constantly because the art program's a little finicky with OBS and stuff, and I'll make sure everything looks good. So we got the there's another thing to note with everything. You see this right here? That's the thing. With Vtube models, only the finished product matters. Everything hidden, it can exist if you're going to utilize it, but if you're never going to utilize it, it doesn't need to exist. If your character only wears long sleeve shirts, you never need an elbow. You don't need an inner arm or anything else to show. You can just move it around. That's what makes everything great with Vtube model making. That's what I love. So let's see. I'm thinking I might have to extend the sleeve at some point. Drag this out up to here and, you know, make the whole sleeve from here all the way down to here. So I have a nice long arm to work with. So the whole point of this is, let's duplicate this real quick. We'll merge that group together. Okay, that was not what I quite want. Oh, we'll merge everything together in a second so I can utilize this. This is just for showing everything else. And also, it helps me to think of what I'm doing by having other people, basically talking to other people, like if they're there, etc. Even when no one's watching the streams and stuff. It helps me to get everything together with my mindset, right? So I'm just getting, I've grouped everything here together. So we're going to just, whoops, I don't want to merge anything. We're just going to duplicate and merge this so I've got little like art copies, so to speak, that I can shove together. Then we can kind of work from there. A lot of the naming and stuff wasn't even go to this stuff because everything's counted. You can see how many like things there are with the drawing. And the reason I have so many layers is, again, like I always say, I'm trash at drawing. Everyone doesn't believe me there, but let's see. We move all this together. This on top of something. Where did it go for? Oh, about there. There we go. Nope. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that did it. So I've got all these copies. I'm just going to merge these together. There we go. And now the whole point with all of this is I have to first... here we go. There we go. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. Not the understand side, but the whole idea of drawing is that it will draw with me and stuff. It's a little laggy with the artwork because we're moving the art and stuff, right? But the whole idea is I'll be able to do art and drawing, and you guys can actually see position and an arm and a hand where I'm drawing. It will basically mimic everywhere that I'm drawing with my cursor, right? And the whole thing too is there will be an animation between drawing and not drawing. We're going to use it's actually going to be very easy to rig in Live 2D. I think I'm a little better at Live 2D than art, drastically actually. So what I think it's going to be is that we have 3 parts of this model. 3 parameters in particular will exist. Is the X and Y, and that for all those that don't know, the X and Y stuff. XY just means Y is up, down, and X is it's geometry. It's geometry tactics, everyone, and stuff. And what's weird about all this is Z also kind of exists as well. We're gonna have a Z as well. We gotta have a Z. Z is not gonna be the 3-dimensional thing like you think. That's a Z as well. That would normally be Z, but that is not Z here. Z is rotation. That way the model isn't just only in one direction and just only moving around like that. You know, I'll show you. The whole thing I'm thinking of like is instead of just up down with it, we're gonna have a rotation effect to it. Because when you're doing your arm, whoop, that's the wrong rotation. So when you're doing your arm, you know, you're gonna have a little like swivel like when you're doing stuff, not just up, down, left, right, which some people might do. We're gonna add a little bit of twist to it, like that. So that is our plan, is to have a X plus Y plus Z rotation. We'll just put the rotation for it to make it simpler to say, right? So that's 1, 2, 3 parameters. On top of that, we're going to have a mouse down thing. So when I'm like this will be a relaxed state. But we're also going to have, like when I'm drawing, there will be like a press down kind of animation. So it'll be a slight thing. And we're going to tie that to mouse click. This is mostly going to be a Vtube studio kind of thing. The idea is to put it in mouse click. It's not necessary, honestly, to have this. So really, all you need to do a hand model for drawing is 2, X and Y. And as far as animating it goes in Live 2D, it's the easiest thing ever. You move it left and right, you move it up and down. And you just kind of fine tune it where it goes in the screen with your Vtube stuff, and that's it. That's all you got to do is fine tune it in Vtube Studio, and that'll be it. Now, I've not done this before. I haven't even looked at how people do this before, right? So, it's going to be a little weird, but I think I got the down. So, at this point, we now have 4. But wait! There's more, everyone! Do you see this down here? That's a sleeve. Sleeves ruffle a little bit. It will move up and move down a little. We're going to modify the arms to have a little bit of physics with the sleeves. I'm probably going to keep the fabric to be separate a bit so that I can move that around individually. And since the way that Live 2D works with everything else, you kind of end up gridding everything. So if we haven't the right grids and stuff, we just pick the grids for the part we want to move and we move it. And it does not affect any of the outside grids, are fine. And that is how we plan to do this. So on top of this, we're not going to have, on top of all the stuff, we're also going to have, what's it called? Physics, there we go. Physics. Like a teacher, but crappier. This is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just getting enough numbers. We're going to put a lot of physics into it. I want this thing to shift around. I want the fingers to move. I want the arm bits to move. And so all of that doesn't matter today. This is just me talking about the project for people that have no clue what's going on. I don't know why I'm even doing with this and just keeping this little thing here. I guess it's all I can cap the, I'm undoing everything so I can use this for any explanation and stuff for people later. Now, the big question, what is lacking here? Well, we have a couple of parts. First off, in the middle here, we have the hand, the glove, the outer glove. I have outer glove, inner glove. Because I thought it looked cool. And it looks good. I like it. I like the idea. We got a little patchwork and stuff. I'm really proud of my scratches. I think I did really good on them. I've always been good at doing scratches. I don't know why. Breaking things is always so much easier. Anyways, the pen looks great. For the most part. Could it look better? Maybe. I don't know if I'll have to separate it for anything else I want to do. Like, if I really, really want to do good. Oh, man. If I made that shine shift around. Oh, it would look so good, everyone. It would look so good. I mean, I can't tell you how good it would have to look that way. I think it's look great if we do that. So, that's a possibility. Let me just check everything here. Okay. Yeah. So, what am I? Oh, a second. Oh, there we go. The programs have nice glitches and stuff, or I'm in the other wrong program because I'm like watching myself watch myself do it. Yeah, I'm confused right now. Don't worry. Don't worry. Typical art craziness here. I might do something with the shadows too. If I can do the shadows, well, you know how it goes. Everything that you can do with movement when it comes to making a Vtube model, if you shift things a little, not a lot, just a little bit, things look great. So because we have masking, we can also put things like the shadow to only show up, the shadow for the pen only to show up in the pen. So if I move it off, it's like this shadow gets thinner or moves around and stuff. Very easy to do with Vtube stuff. It's also why you want outlines in anime style. So the fingers in multiple pieces, because I want that kind of like squeeze a little forward and stuff when I click and draw and stuff. So there'd be a lot to it. I mean, when it comes to art, your hands are all finicky anyway, so it's not going to be a big deal. But I want a little bit of physics to shake things around and everything else. And the way physics works in the first place is you're kind of managing itself. So we are just working today on fine-tuning a bit. Let's just face it. Because of the angle and stuff and the way everything goes, the thumb looks a little weird. To be honest with you, thumb looks weird. Thumb shape, thumb design, might look into redoing that a little bit. I'm not the greatest at it, but you know. Now, everything that you see is a little finicky. Like, see here, the cutaways and stuff. It's all going to be finicky like that, but we're going to fix that a little bit. I have an outline better across there. It makes sense. I'm not good at angles. I'm not good at people. I can draw objects just fine. I love drawing objects. They're easy for me. Do you guys like objects? I like objects. I love assets. If you have any ideas for making a Vtube model, asset, or anything else, please let me know. Chat with me about it. Leave a comment in the YouTube videos or something. I'll read it. I'll see it. Gives me ideas to work on stuff. That's I know what I like, you know, working on weird bits. Now, if I had things I could work for that could put on any VG model, that'd be really fun for me. But this is just a prototype thing. Now, I'll be making a video on this later. Not on the model itself, showcasing a little on it and teaching you how to do your own as simple as possible. Come on, just XY movement. And setting it up with Vtube Studio. I mean, it might be a 5-minute video. If I'm lucky, I'll spend weeks on it. Oh, I always do so crazy things that no one will see. Heck, I think I actually have the world's smallest Vtube model, honestly. I looked it up. No one else has ever tried to animate a pixel. Animated a pixel. No one else has done it. I think people made like tiny Vtube models like this is the world's smallest Vtube model. Not after I came. Also, if you have any ideas of what I should do with the Pixel V2 model, the one Pixel V2 model, I had some videos on it earlier. If you have any ideas what I should do to that, let me know. Because, you know, how to make a pixel animated and characterized, I'd love ideas for that. I kind of feel like we should push that further one day. So we'll get to that. But anyways, back to the art, because that's what everyone's looking for today. Less education, more artsy stuff, right? Also, if anyone's watching and wants to tell me what looks weird and stupid, you know, or what to focus on too, because I really need it. I'm bad at focusing, if you can't tell. So let's see. All right, we already have an art later ready for it. So let's see, what do we do? Got to think if I need anything off or whatnot. So right now I'm going to try to redefine the shape of the stuff. So, and also making sure my button presses on my keyboard. I had never properly worked on the hotkeys for my V2 model, so I can my model goes all over the place because I have positions set to buttons. I also have things like what was it 8? Triggers my eyes on and off. Then it's just an eyeless, soulless fool. And that's how I started when I did V2 was like this. It really didn't work out that well, you know, not having eyes. I don't know if I planned it. I wonder when I planned the eyes for my V2 model. But anyways, like 8 key does the eyes. 9 key does the shadows and the eyes. I have a very interesting rig set up for that. But anyways, back to the shiny bit, because that's what people like. People like the creepy eyes. But back to the model, because I am so... You guys can tell I'm basically just putting this off. So we're going to figure out what could be a better shape. So we can follow the shape along, but really we're just sketching at the moment. Just trying to see if anything kind of fits, you know? Looks right and everything, you know? Not sure about that. For the record, I do not sketch. A lot of people talk about art, like, I love doing art, I just rather do sketches than, you know, actual work and stuff. But for me, I can't focus on work, or I can't focus on sketching if there's not a purpose to it. It has to have a purpose for me. And so that's what we're trying to work on a little bit too, is just trying to figure out, like, because I am just terrible at it, you know? I mean, that doesn't look like a thumbnail. Maybe I should try to modify it while we're out here. I'll tell you, my tablet got me so much better art skill than I had before it, though, because mouse just doesn't work that well compared to drawing. I'm also running my playlist of the audio I like to use for my videos. I got them off YouTube, and I like them. These are just ones I liked, so I decided to use them for a stream. That's a playlist. I'm listening to them. You're listening with me. That just looks like a bent straw. All right, let's I don't like that. Let's add another layer. We'll start identifying what we could do to this. Let's just see if we can just alter the shape a little better than instead of. Do I have a thumb that big? How big are my thumbs compared to my finger? Like, I'm trying to look at my fingers too while I'm doing this, and just to kind of like get an eye for it. What angle we're doing with that. Try to get the finger in the right spot, just like that. I used a lot of techniques to get the shape there. Like, you might be wondering, you're not good at art, but then how do you have fingers? I rotoscoped. So how does it look so bad? I don't know. Either I'm disfigured or I'm just bad at art. Maybe both. I think what I did was I took the thumb from a different piece. No, wait, no, that's the angle I went with. Gives me ideas, kind of thing, you know. Thumb's kind of got a little bit of a curve in the fingernail area. Okay, that's just awful. Restart later again. This is just the craze that goes on. See, I'm not able to produce a lot of great stuff right now because I've already done all the heavy work here. This is mostly fine-tuning model stuff, so. We could also just make the finger smaller, truthfully. That was even worse. Honestly, really what we should be doing is less of making it smaller and making it bigger. Just give us a little bit of a visuality to see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, I think I got an idea what I can do with this. Let's use some white. I'm just going to use it to make it look layer. Because this is the top layer. This is not actually there. Just throwing white on there so I can kind of like redesign the shape a little bit and see what I like with how to redo it. I kind of like that, actually. That kind of does fix it a little bit. Doesn't that fix that? Look at that. Look how that fixes it a little bit. Now, how I'm going to make this design look right is all this. I don't know for sure yet. I haven't quite gone that far. It's exciting. But yeah, that is absolutely should be there. Now, one consideration I have also, you'll see like the parts we have here. Let's turn this off so I can show it a bit better. I'm cutting them into parts to move them better. Different shadows and stuff. Now, shadows do not like to play well with each other. They are transparencies. And two transparencies, well, they look weird. Okay, I don't think I can do both like that easy. They just don't work. They just don't mesh well. They don't look right. So when you try to do like joints and stuff, it's not like they both have the same values when you have two shadows. They darken because you have two opacities, two windows you're looking through and stuff. That makes it not so great. Let's continue on, though. I do believe I hit the wrong button again. There we go, okay. I was just checking the health of the streams and stuff. It might be glitchy a bit, but so far, big improvement. Big improvement. It looks like the finger's squishing up from pressure now, instead of just being big and stupid. And then we got here to make it show it like, you know, it goes into it a bit. I'm kind of wondering if I should go all the way for that or not, though. On the wrong. There we go. There we go. Gotta go in the right layer. So we have all of that. Maybe we should push a little bit less. We went down to here with that. Right. Let's go a bit better what I was doing. Destruction. So, like, if I decided to just make the thumb a single piece, we have a lot easier time, because then I'm just animating a piece, and I'm not caring about everything, right? So, it looks pretty natural, kind of. Though really, instead of that right there, I should make this all just gradient out, kind of, right? A little trick I like to do is just grab the areas I want to see it blend towards, and not like mess up the blurs how I work with everything. You know, maybe I should just try to do the thumb more animating itself, because really we're not going to move too much to it, and it might shift the shape a little bit. I'm still trying to think, because it's still hard to decide. This is the hardest thing ever. My biggest problem I think I have with art, more than even my art itself, is I really don't have people who care about it. Probably why I'm streaming tonight at midnight. Well, it's 1 o'clock for me, actually. It's midnight for a lot of people, though. I'm working at 1 o'clock midnight, whatever. It's a midnight stream. I planned this at 12. I just got slow doing it. I was getting a playlist ready and stuff, so it's not a boring, musicless stream. You know how that would go. You probably do if you've ever seen my first streams. God, I'm boring. Anyways, we got this going, though. Look at this. We're going to probably make it a single thing. I don't know if I should redraw it all or merge it all together and just fine-tune it from there. So that's another question. Thought about it. Thoughts are coming through my head, everyone. Where's my shadows? Here with us for a second. Probably could do this. We could try to raise it a little here or something, right? Okay, that's the wrong color. No, take the black. Take the black. There we go. So if I try to raise it a little bit, I can do a kind of long curve here. Look at my own thumb, basically, is my idea for getting some shapes in there. So we start a little later. We start a little. Oh, forget about that. Gotta get this. The whole idea with a thumb a lot of times is all the ridging and stuff, but this kind of makes it like there's a what's the thing right here, the dip where the thumb connects to itself and squeezes in, you know. That's what you're going to get. And then from there, we add on some shades and stuff. Well, we need a base coat, first of all. Let's turn this to that color. And get rid of the rest of this. Let's delete that. Let's see. If we get rid of some of the other stuff. But do I keep it into the... You know, I think I should just keep them as single finger. It's going to be so much more easy to animate, man. I don't have to worry and stuff. We can get rid of some of these shadings. We'll reshade it in a second. As a whole piece, it's a lot easier. We'll keep these ridges as separate layers, though, so we have something to work with. What is that at? Oh, that's the edge of the thumb. It's the top of it. The original shape. Let's merge these together. I think I like the idea of the shape. We'll have to redraw it if we screw up anyway. So, like, you know. So we'll put this at the bottom now. So now we have this. The other problem here is I have all this. But the thing is, I'm not using anti-aliasing so that we can fix this. One click. Done. Isn't that great? Anti-aliasing there, though. Gotta get rid of that. There we go. I'm actually using the mouse for that. I'm also doing a little cleanup here. A little bit here and there. Kind of looks a little weird. I don't want it too flat, though. Because too flat's a problem. Too flat's way too much of a problem. Imperfections can make models look great, depending on the style. You ever notice a model looks great, but sometimes they just look dead, and it's not even the person who's controlling it. There's just something weird about it. It just doesn't match or fit, you know, just odd. And that's the problem with a lot, is they go for such perfections, they just... Perfection doesn't work for everything. Look at me. Perfection would never work for me. I would never look good. It would never work well. It would never be something you need to see or do right. You wouldn't care for it. So, yeah. Just, there we go. Okay. Just be working on stuff. I'll double check the stream a couple of times right now, see if anyone actually is tuning in at the moment. I see something on Twitch. Can't tell though. Haven't checked Kick though. Just trying to do my trying to make everything a little bit more straighter, good. The outlines, you want a consistency. I'm not good at that. I can't do consistency well. I'm not a good artist, as I said before. I've said 1,000 times. I'll say it again. I'm not a good artist. I find ways around it. Maybe I should do a little bit more towards this way with it. What I kind of want to do with this too is another line here. Let me turn some of these off here. So I was thinking I could do a bit of a line there. Just add a blur effect to it. It wouldn't be at that side, it would be on the other side. We blur this a little bit. There. Sometimes a really good deep blur is the best. A little deep outline kind of thing. We knock off the outside here so it's not too big a deal. I'll cut it down a little bit. We're gonna re-blur in a second, that's why. There we go. And now we're going to blur. Just enough to give it a good edge. So now we got a bit of a dip there from it. We can reduce it a bit to make it a little bit more simple. What I'm going to do is, let's see. I'd like to make it a little bit less messed up. Let's see if we can think this. Let me actually maybe do it here. Let me see this. And I'm going to get rid of that bit. Okay, we got this. What I was just thinking here is I can use this to add a tapering off bit to it. Maybe more passage. Oh, we still got the kind of the dip, but it's not so bad. It just gets more firm as it gets in for the line. It'll blur in. When we do the blur outline later to it, it's going to look a lot better. See? I love blur. Blur's what I use for everything to get everything anti-aliasing. It's probably not the best solution, but it's kind of my art style for the most part. All right, see. We got that there. Still digging that shape a lot. It looks a lot better, that shape. Thumb looks kind of big, but it doesn't look too big anymore because the shape makes it just feel like, you know, the whole idea is big, thick gloves. Might be having too much here because it looks like it just looks saggy with all that, you know. The lines up there. So I've got these little ridges here on this. I wonder if I should We can also, if I did that and lowered it to a little bit, might make it look better in some ways. Nah, I just don't look good anymore. Let's get rid of those. We can make new anytime. We have the outline here. Still kind of works for it. Well, not quite, I guess. Then I had this for the ridges a bit. I don't know if I get that good. Blend in a little bit. Now I can keep the if I keep all of my all my shadows and markings as a separate part, I can move them around for showing movement, a little twist and stuff like that. I don't know if I need it so much, honestly, for this, but sometimes it's good to have multiple layers of things. It makes it complicated for the model. Sure, honestly, if I just had the things I had planned originally, just like 1, 2, I mean, actually 2 together practically, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 model pieces. That's it. 7 layers, guys. That was the goal. Yeah, it didn't end up being that way. So this is what we're working with here. I also don't like how it looks on the knuckles right there. You can see they kind of don't line up for anything else. I honestly don't know what I'm doing with it. There's a lot of weirdness to it and trying to make it look right for how it would look. Maybe she might be trying to make it concave when it would be convex. Or convex instead of concave. I don't know. But we gotta work on that too. Thumb, way better looking. With just a little bit of a knockdown and it there. It's good. Let me see. This is not pretty to guess for that. Let's do another line for this though. We're gonna do here. And what we're gonna do here is work on some lines for the thumb. Now, what we're doing with the thumb here is adding in kind of like secondary wrinkles. I'm trying to think about it like that, you know. Kind of gives a bit more texture and stuff. We're trying to make that look right. Because that's what we had before. I don't know if I need that or not even, you know. But I mean, like, there's so much you can do when it comes to cloth and body movements. And I hate anatomy. I do. I hate it. I hate it, everyone. I kind of like clothes a little bit. Can you tell with the hood? But other than that, you know, I'm bad at the aspect of drawing more than it is animating and such. Like if I do just that, and if we blur it a bit. Let's taper that a little bit. Okay. We got that. Okay. Let's see, because that we don't want that. Kind of just blend it in. And there you go. A nice, simple thing to it, right? Now this is going to be redesigned. So what we're going to do here is what I like to do a lot, is just getting a dark edge on everything else. A little black. Now, a lot of people say use other colors and stuff. A lot of the big artists, and yes, they're right. They're absolutely right. So why am I using black? Think of it like a coloration style. The look that you get from black is completely different from everything else. It's incorrect. It's otherworldly. So don't be afraid to go with the incorrect. It might be more correct for you. That's what it's all about. Then we blur. Blur will disperse the color across the tone, and we can use transparency to decide how dark we want it and stuff. And that is our new shape shading. Quite simple. You're just doing a black outline where you want to add a shadow, and you blur it. Just make sure you select the part you're working on. For Krita, that's Control-Click, by the way. Not that anyone cares, but you know. We're doing this at the bottom of the hand. We should do something here, at least. Let's go a small outline here. The whole idea of shadow is just to make it look like there's something going on. Sometimes I wonder if I should just pick white space background or should do a different color. Anyone here ever that's seeing this knows about a good background color that works better for artists and to project better coloration? Let me know. You can leave a comment if you're not going to talk on the stream or anything else, so you see this later in the VOD. Just let me know. I'd love to know the better backgrounds that we got. Again, I'm a crappy artist. This is just my first little art stream going on here. A little behind the scenes of my madness. And also, really, the true nature is, let's just go, let's address the problem in the room, everyone. Why are we doing this stream? Because I have not been doing model work for about a week. I haven't been working on it at all. I'm foolish. And I thought, why not do random streams for it? It can force me to work. Because I'm talking to someone in the future, or never, who knows? But maybe someone picks in, who knows? The point is, it gives me forced effort. What was it? That wasn't right. Okay. Okay, background. Now, a good thing to do when you're making art, obviously, would be to name your layers. We're at layer 114. I'm not naming them. We're not naming them. No. No, we're not doing that. Oh, no. Let's see here. Sometimes I like to look at my own wrinkles and try to think, what would the shape look like and be? It might look like doodles in some places, but when you blur it correctly, it all looks good in the end. If it blurs right. I do a lot of test things. I just use the blur effect. I feel it gives me a lot of bang for my buck, right? So I think looking right here is what we need to start figuring out is this right here. So the finger's straight. Your bone is straight. So the whole shift of position is that this little V spot, the little triangle, this area right here, is going to be a separate dimension. This wraps around to here. This goes down or wherever direction, right? But we're going to have a little circular thing here, kind of thing. It's just, it's further away. Its dimensions is different. So that's what we got to convey somehow. What do you believe? Oh, wait a second. I think I forgot to put my music on. Continue. I just want to see if it. Let's go to the next one. Okay, it does. So let's go back to the beginning. There we go. Been almost an hour. Nice. This is just me doing stuff to make sure I keep working. Haha. Not good there. I'll have to redo this shadow again to get this edge a little better. That's the goal, so we'll get rid of everything else here. That's the problem. Okay, now let's see if we can get a good... So it looks right, huh? The problem here. So much decision making here. Oh, we got that to there. We can do this. Make it look a little more natural and better, I think. That's the whole goal with everything. Is just make it look... It doesn't have to look good. Nothing has to look good with Vtube. It has to look correct. Good is only a different concept. Lord knows I've created creatures and monsters that shouldn't be made. Oh, no, no, no. I'll be judged by it one day. Okay, we're almost done here at this point. This fixes. Almost done. It looks terrible. I'm not lying with you. It just doesn't look right there. Blur will save us, though, I think. No, it can't save us. That's not the right angle. Let's see. The problem here is hook's wrong. Way better, more natural looking. Okay. Strange how a single pixel is very important with this. I gotta think, what do I want to do with some other parts of this? I feel like there are other aspects I haven't worked on with this, so let me think. Oh, there should be something here. or something, you know, like single. A little bigger first. Just something to give some texture outside of its existence, you know. I mean, technically, we put this here for the thumbnail or something, you know. Say, it looks like there's a finger in there, but we don't want that because it's gloves, right? I'm just trying to see, is this something feels it needs something, you know? I can't think what, though. That's the problem. Sometimes being too just clean just feels off. Also shows you about the issues with multiple shadows. Now, if the shadows are separate shadows, though, interlocking is fine. If they're trying to be the same shadows of the same part, you have a problem because then you got to clip. But if they're for different shadows, different edges, different creases, they actually don't really negatively affect each other. They darken each other, which makes it look like a cross section and more real. I can actually show that too. Let's see. So we have shadow here and here, right? So let's put a little here too, just for texture. Oh, I almost forgot. Gotta make sure I don't go past the actual drawing. You get very shallow for the most part. There we go, and then we blur it. It might not seem like much, but a little shading does a lot. There's so much a single like line to do. Like no one ever thinks it's too much. You can just create a shadow and that looks like it would fit somewhere, and just see where it would go. Test it around a little bit, you know. That's right. We're gonna do that, aren't we? We'll try. Let's see. Where is that? There. That one has to be removed. Could we change the design again? So once more, we are going to darken this. Now the whole goal is to diffuse it, and that allows me to push it out a bit and make it a little bit softer. That's why we're using hard shapes and edges. That's how I draw, so that I can diffuse it later with that, and that makes it a lot better. That should be fine, I think. It also kind of works together with everything else to really push it forward. Oh no. Did I really draw on top of my drawing? I did. That's not. Control Z is your friend, otherwise you're going to lose everything. I do mean everything. You'll lose it all. Too much, huh? Now, even if the outline is the same as the model's outline itself, it's usually pretty fine. It will diffuse a little out there and give you some coloration on the outside. But I feel it helps a lot, for at least for my art style, to have that outer shading and stuff. It really makes it pop a little bit more. Now, a lot of artists I see a lot using the kind of shading style and simplicity, just to kind of not keep everything just a two-tone anime style that's just too much, but to add some more depth and make it come alive. Let's try this. No, I see a problem. I didn't go further. There. That should not cause so much issue. You ever want to darken a shadow too? Like you're like, oh man, I didn't get far enough. I should make it darker. Just duplicate. Bam. Oh no. Made a mistake. No. Oh, it's fine because it's the other shadow. They'll just duplicate together a bit. Look at that. It works better. We want to lessen it. We can lessen it. I guess get shifted. Oh yeah, that's right. We duplicated them. Haha, I'm stupid. That's why I like doing how much. Okay, I completely forgot what I'm doing half the time. So now we've merged them together, and you can see it like shift around and stuff. You can use a lot of shadows for depth a lot of times with stuff, just by increasing and decreasing them. A lot of people don't get that. Like if something object is getting closer to something, the shadow gets smaller and darker. And as it moves away, it gets wider and further away and less transparent, you know. I don't know about that part or not, though. Where could this go? My word, I can't think of anything. Even that didn't look right. Actually, put this on top. Then we'll flip that, invert, and delete. Now that is only going to be right there where the finger is. That's good. That helps a little bit with that. I still don't have anything here to really add any text or anything else, which I would really like, because honestly, even the finger corner here, this isn't even that good looking. Let's see if we can blur it a little bit better. So I'm trying to think what we could do for this area. Probably do a little better if I start designing myself a bit more. With something newer and better, you know. Let me just check how everything is going. Oh my, people are tuning on YouTube. Hello, everyone. They expect anyone to show up in the midnight doodle art bit and stuff. Welcome to the madness. All right, back to the hand making. In the end, the problem here is simple. I am trying to make it look good for a few specific parts so I can have an easy, fun time animating it, because I suck at art. That's all we're trying to do here. But, you know, this is all learning. The entire process here is learning. And also, I had my eraser on. There's nothing here to erase, so it's fine. But at the same time, trying to get lines that work right. Because the thing is, it's so weird. And all people knows, if you just sketch a few lines and try 1,000 times, which is why we're on paint layer 116 of a 7-part model. Well, it's going to be more than 7 parts again, because we're going to separate that. At most, it's going to be 21, probably the most. Probably, yeah, that's probably the most. Yeah, maybe 30. It'll be 30 or less pieces to this model, because I can't stop myself. I have a problem. I need help. Somebody stop me. That's the perfectionist issue. All the artists know exactly what I'm talking about. The big issue I have to so much, though, is that if anyone's wondering why I say I'm not an artist, it's because I'm not fast. That's my whole point. It takes me forever to make anything look good, and so much stress. A proper artist can do a lot quicker than me. I am an animator. I took to Live 2D like no other. I spent a lot of time on Live 2D, but I love it, and I do a good job on it, I think, and that's where we got some of the animations I've done with my door that I don't use anymore because it's too long of an introduction sequence and doesn't work that well. Pacing, come on now, it's my first time. And my background, which still looks pretty good. It's still kind of weird, but at the same time, it's got so many things going on for it that you can't call it bad. But, you know, it's just sketching right now, too. Figuring this stuff out. I'm sure somebody out there is an actual artist, and they are watching this as a humor session to see how dumb a lunatic can draw. Yes, I substitute myself all the time for art, because it's true. I make up for it with other things, you know? I can do other things. I stopped doing other things. I knew I can do Live 2D stuff. I do great with Vtube models. I'm still looking for people who need Vtube models rigged for them, though. I'm not good at that part. I'm socially anxious. It gives me trouble and trauma to do that. I'm not even good at making my posts on Twitter and everything else, you know? Which is where I want to show off my art, but not many people look at that either. Personally, I think it's the algorithm out to get me. Any other creators that, you know about the idea of feel like the algorithm's out to get them? AI has already destroyed their careers or everything else, or doesn't want you to take off. That's what I always see. Just keep it as is. I still feel there's something I can do here. I mean, there's another technique we can do. I don't know if I should try it or not. I'm good at it. Dark and light colors together, blurred, creates really neat effects like tears and scratches. Depending on which side the dark and the light color is on, depends on whether it feels like it's embossed and popping out or dented in and going in. And go heavier with the darker colors when you do it. The light colors are much stronger. There's a few good times you can use more of the light than the dark for that effect. One of my favorite effects to do, though. All I do, dark line and light line, and then we blur it in. That's what I'm putting. Blur. Because in the dark line, looks like the impact. The white line is like the cloth coming out from under itself. But in this case, I don't think it works for the idea of like scratched leather. Of course, I was doing scratched leather. I just do. I like the little dots and stuff. If you've ever scratched leather, a lot of times the sharp object will bounce and leave little bevel indents, just like bad pixelation. This gave me an idea. I know what I should do. 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 I don't know why I didn't try that before. I don't know why I'm not thinking. Leather has a little bit of a... There we go. Has a little bit of shine to it. We use a lot of blur, right? To really add to it. Then, of course, you lower the opacity because it's not going to be too much. So, okay. That's it. That's it. It doesn't look good. But that's the direction we're going for. Holy crap, I'm spending a long time on a thumb. It's not even going to be a very well done thing or popular. Well, if I use it for drawing like this all the time, it'll be pretty popular. I think people like that. Let's see. There we go. We'll go for that. And we will blur this a little bit. I might make that a bit of more. There. That'll do it, I think. Yes, we're using pure white. So the whole reason I use white and black, which are the colors you're told not to, is they mesh with everything. Generally, a shadow is going to be more of a bluish shadow for a lot of things, but also we are doing a darker kind of style and theme for a lot of stuff, right? Now, obviously, that makes it just look shiny. We're not looking for a shiny leather. We're looking for a matted leather. So what we do is we knock down the transparency drastically. This adds depth more than anything. But I still feel like good enough, I think I still need to add more blur to it. Gives a bit of highlight to stuff, right? So highlight stuff here too. Don't worry about the white. It'll patch out in a second. Oop, missed a spot. Because even on the outline, it kind of feels like it works in a way. I don't know why I forgot about the idea of adding light to stuff, you know. That looks a lot better. What do you guys think? Guys look good? Oh, let's see. Let's do another bit here for something. What if I do a scratchy bit if that does anything interesting? Sometimes let's try strange effects just to see what we can get out of it. I like it. I don't want to do anything with that. Let's see. I will. And I just sometimes it's really good just to do a lot of things, right? Try out things. Do weird things. Do things you probably shouldn't do with your drawings. Let's see what happens. You might like the effect. Or not like it. You know, who cares? Let's try larger things. We can do this. Nope, that's on. Erase. Bigger. And we'll blur the hell out of that too. It's always weird to me. I've had such a hard time finding people who want to utilize my talents and such. Am I just creepy to people? Is that it? They just don't want to deal with me and have all the free efforts I can give them. You know, free assets, model work, making, etc. So much I can do for people. They don't want it though. They never do. You're strange, you're weird, you're unorthodox. Here, I'll hire somebody that can't do a furry right. Yes, I can actually freak a furry. I've done it before. He's posted debut Thursday. I don't believe him, but we'll see. If he does, oh my word, I will be able to tell the world and show the rigging that I did for him. I spent so much work for him. Then he was like later, he was always going to debut within a week, right? And then later on, he's like, oh, I want the animation for this. I want the animation for that. I want to see do this. I want this and that. I made him an integrated asset that beat the crap out of his model. I made him, and it's hilarious, by the way. I really love the art I did for that because it's an object. I did a custom VCR with the tape going inside, drawn and animated, all by me. I don't draw. I don't do well. It takes me forever. You can see the hand here. Of course, I'm new to hands and stuff, so obviously. But my point is, it takes me forever, right? I did it custom for him. Perfectly. Perfectly custom and everything, right? So what happens? He still hasn't debuted. It's been 10 months! Rant over. Not yet. I also did another a cassette tape for him too, for that, like, for opening and closing, for use in videos and stuff. I did a lot for this guy. Still didn't debut for 10 months. Well, I almost forgot to get the connection. So a lot of these layers are going to be shoved together eventually for the final finished model. So don't worry about that, everyone. We just get a lot of shadows later on each other. They just give extra depth of stuff, you know? There. That's what I want. Blur a little here. It gets a little bit more into that ridgy kind of look. That's the whole thing of that, is to just be a little extra. Yeah. I think that looks good. Kinda. It looks better than it did before. Oh yeah, we have the thing before. We can take a look at it. Before. I'll just turn that on. Like just. Let's put this back where it was. We can kind of see better here. So thumb. I'll turn it off too. Thumb 1. Thumb 2. This is more cartoony kind of lines in that, but that looks a little better, I think, than this, in my opinion. This is just a bunch of squiggles. We got rid of the stretchy bits of more coloration to just some shading added in. The tip's a little bit more, well, it looks better. That curve is so much better than that. And instead of this dip in that, we're doing it as one piece. Probably a little much in there, but we'll use the transparency either here or in live 2D stuff later. You know, crap, I have an idea. We can apply this effect to here. How that would work. That's how it would look. That's how it would look, everyone. I figured it out. I've got to redesign everything again. What is that? Okay, that's the sleeve. I'm gonna do the sleeve. Where's the pet? Where is the thumb? There's the thumb. That. You'll see in a second what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, got that. Let me just think here a second. I'm trying to think, right? Trying to think. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do that now. Let's see. Maybe I'll do it here. Get that going that way. Let's see. What we want to do is up and down, right? Yeah, that'll round it off a bit. Back to this color. Ooh, my depth's starting to get warm. Oh, does look better. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it looks great from a distance. Look at that. It looks so much better. It looks so much better. And we've hardly touched it enough. We got it. We got it. Oh, hold a second. Oh, Brickworks. Brightworks. Oh, use X2. Hold a second. I gotta get the size of my stuff there. Thank you, Brightworks. Hi, fellow artist here, stopping by to say hi and share you on. You're doing awesome, dear. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Reminding you to have water stack, unstrip your back. Proud of you. Thank you so much. I think I might do more of these art streams eventually. Except for one thing. I'm not a fellow artist. I do not qualify. I take too long. It's like saying construction worker, but it takes you 30 years to like lay a brick. Oh, come on now. I go with animator. Hello with you on YouTube. Hello. And yes, right. I know everyone qualifies, technically, but I do not consider myself an artist just because I'm too slow. Animator, however, yes, I do a different kind of art. I mold. I shape. I made my model. I made another guy's model. Oh, if you guys want to be creeped out, tomorrow, I think like 5 o'clock or something. I don't know if it's Eastern or think. Look up Silent Mime Guy. He's going to be doing some streams tomorrow, and you know, or well, no, that's today. I forgot it's past midnight. Oh, sorry to hear you have the heart issues, but yeah, I get the idea. Like 20 years artist and stuff. I mean, technically, I've been the art stuff for. You know what? Let's not talk about time, or I might reveal what I am. You know, people don't need to know that and stuff. But I remember a long time ago, I actually did try to become an artist, but the whole problem was I couldn't do art for other people. Talon Smoke, they stole your skin? Who stole your skin? Are they wearing it? Do they need help? Do they need to redesign it? So are they going to use their skin for something else, or are they going to make like a brisket out of it? Like, come on now. They stole your skin. Skin sealers, really? Here? Oh, I'm getting off tangent a little bit. Where can I? Let's see. What do I get? There we go. Okay, there's my shrink the thing there because I don't have my I'm not using my tablet as my chat reader right now, and everyone's chatting me all of a sudden out of nowhere. Quiet for an hour and a half. And now it's everyone here. Hello there, everyone. I had to just shrink my thing so I don't like. I had my let's see, what size was it earlier? Oh gosh, it was, yeah, I had to shrink it. It was like at 4 times the normal size, so I couldn't read the chat. It was just, all I saw was hi. That was it. I got it fixed though. I got it fixed. Okay. Let's see how that looks though with the tent, so I can see if that's the right style. Oh, accents and stuff I think are working better. I'm gonna have to lower them a little bit because I feel the light, it just makes it shiny. We don't want shiny. Should I do a texture? Grit. Well, let's try that. Let's see if I can do a grit texture. Those are always something I like to do a lot of things. Let's see, we do get everything. Click above. And just draw the heck over everything. We try to take angles and stuff with it, but you know, it doesn't matter. Because the whole thing here is nothing matters when you're just adding stuff to it. It might look dribble and stuff and weird. We are. Yes, it's weird. I know, it's weird. We're doing. And we blur it. Then we pass it down. And we got texture. Not the best texture. Maybe I'll do another texture just to get a little bit of. Oh, I forgot to select it again. Boop, boop. There we go. People might not believe this, but I didn't do art. I had an art minor in college, and a lot of that was art history, you know, that kind of stuff, right? But what happened here, for a lot of my stuff, right? So all of a sudden out of nowhere, a while back, years ago actually, a friend told me, Brightworks, now let me tell you right now, you're talking about you can't have your own model. Let me tell you, making your own Vtube model is incredibly easy. It's all about scope. If you have the in style and simplicity and stuff. This is my third model I'm making, technically, as far as like ones I'm trying to finish and all that, because it's just a hand, right? This is a little bit of interesting stuff to it and aspects for a drawing model. So I can do more drawing streams with this. Imagine me doing this right here, but you get to see that model everywhere when I put my pen down and around everywhere. Might get in the way of some stuff. I feel like it might be fun to have. That's the whole point of it. A little bit of dirt. That actually does add a lot more shape and design to it. That looks a lot better than these for what I'm going for. Especially as it's a close-up. If you think about it, hands are harder to do like for drawing because they're close-up. You have a little alien hunter cat girl on the Brightworks. Yes. I'll tell you this, though. I have a friend. Oh, you're one of those non-section types. Okay, yeah, that does make it hard, I guess. I'm a sectioner. As you can tell by paint layer 122, I've always done layers, because then I can get rid of what I don't like and put what I do like and stuff. But really, you're just making a paper doll when it comes to making a Vtube model, and even then, you don't have to. You can make it kind of one bit. The only problem is, I would say, just layer your lighting and your shadows and stuff, and that's how you really want to do it. The parts can be more connected, especially anything from the neck down. The neck down can be a single piece. If you've ever seen a lot of those like gaming trailers, I think like one of the ones I like, really like, I kind of find it interesting. I don't like completely how they did it and stuff, but there was a Chinese game, the Cultivation Simulator. It had an animated setup at the front of it that was really well done and stuff and interesting. And there's a lot of other things that do some great animations for like the gaming startup and stuff. One of my favorites like that is Raptopia. That gets a lot of cool animations. Makes you think of live 2D animations. I like that a lot. It's also a fun little game about rats. Check it out if you guys like strategy and cute things. Raptopia. Fun game. Now, I think that's enough of the thumb. I really like how this looks. This freaking corner right there. This thing right here. Oh man. That looks great at a distance. And when I blur it together a little, it's going to look great, I think. Well, compared to everything else I have, it'll look great. Let's get that pin out of the way. We'll start working on the other parts. And I still wonder, I still think I do need a two-part this finger, though. Because we have it over and under and stuff, and that's the angle it has. I might need to redo the lines here. They kind of make it just look like the leather, the glove is too... It looks like latex. It reminds me of working in the factory. That's a story I can't even tell yet, just because it's just too much. I wonder if I should keep it all jaggy like it is. Like, I kind of like the style of it just being so non-conformity, because then it looks more natural and good and stuff. I'm still laughing about the comment of help they stole my skin. Love it. Perfect thing for my kind of streams. Maybe Silent stole that skin. He's kind of been up to something lately, and he will do that. He would steal your skin. He will carve it off your feet while you're sleeping. You wouldn't even, well, you would know the screaming. You'd block it out, though. The trauma would make you block out the trauma of having yourself skinned alive, and then he just rolls it up and, like, tries to sell it to some Goodwill or something. He's kind of like that. He's kind of a psychopath, but that's what's happening. Now then, me telling jokes like that to this kind of like inspirational music I've got running in the background. Let's see. At least the thumb looks good. I love that curve. I love that the new side thing looks great that way. Just works. Lighting needs to be toned down. We look at the textures again after we start seeing how conformity we can get with the fingers. Because then we got to work on the index. Then we have these back fingers. Yeah, look how terrible it looks, right? Terrible. Terrible. But here's the truth, everyone. You have to understand. Vtube models don't need to look good underneath. They have to look good in front. You would be horrified to see what my model's face has. Oh my gosh. I've got like, let me find a good skin color for it. My model has patches. Like around the mouth. I just put like patches. Because the skin color, because the whole way your Vtube model works, you have a base skin, single color, and then you throw textures on top of that. And this means that when you have another skin, like, texture hit, it's just one solid color. So you can't see anything. And even if it's a little bit, like, blurred in or something, it still works. I'll teach people how to make Vtube models like on while I'm doing this too. Just so you know, I get bored a little bit drawing, so I like to chatter and get off tangent a few times. That's just how artists are. I'm not an artist. Don't quote me on that. Not an artist. Art butcherer. That's a good term. Don't call me an artist. Call me an art butcherer. I'm glad you like to listen, right? Also, again, I like the X for the works part, because I go with Mad Works with an X at the end. You've paid for Lighting, you haven't touched it? Oh my God, I pay for it, but I do touch it. It was night and day getting access to the paid version because you get the limitations up. But I do almost suggest for anyone else, I highly suggest using the free version of Live 2D and learning to make your own Vtube model if you've ever had the inkling to make your own Vtube model. You can do that. And if you check out my YouTube channel, I do have videos to help you get started. Everyone likes the X other than the Gooseworks comments. I just get in fights with a car wash company. Fighting a car wash company. That just sounds like a really good Tekken level. Imagine just throwing somebody into the car washing gizmos and just watching them just get all wet and thrown up in there and just smash with all the little like things. A car wash is nothing more than a poor man's American Gladiators. There are companies with your name. Oh, that's awful. I had to look up MadWorks for my stuff, and there was the KS already. I'm like, what if I use the X? And my whole thing is I'm using the X as a cogwheel too. So it really works out with the mechanical creation aspect that I do with everything else and everything too. Which is a really weird combination I am. I am the creative, mechanically minded, strange cultist of an unknown design of what the cult is, because I don't have enough people yet. I'm just a very lonely, crazy guy in the dark right now. Oh well. I've got some model improvements coming soon, but I'm just too lazy to work on them. They're behind the scenes and stuff. I keep on wanting to add more stuff to it. I wanted to add hands and a full body to redesign to my model. But as we can tell here, might need to just get what I've gotten and go with it, because it's taking a while just to get these designs going and stuff. Oh, Brightworks. I'm gonna have to read this to everybody on the other platforms for it. So everyone's just, I'm a conversation here with Brightworks on Twitch, who has the name Brightworks, and they say there is a car wash company with the same spelling as their name. They got me on TikTok going, "You stole our name," and I'm like, "Hey man, if you want to argue with a starving, terminally ill, bedbound artist who has monetized copyrights and just draws characters on the internet, be my guest. But it's certainly not going to get you business." Oh man. I mean, I'm just going to say this like there. It's like you're going to pick a fight at the Pick-A-Wish Foundation. You come out like with a broken arm. That's just what it sounds like. Like you got everything against them there. That's awesome. I just feel like you've got everything against them for that. I just keep under the radar for myself mostly. It's really hard to find people like work with and stuff too. But I've been oh man, imagine you were threatening somebody and calling them names and they've just got like everything horribly ill like going on and you just look like terrible. That is oddly rude and stuff to attack somebody on TikTok and stuff like that. That also means they're not having good business. If you have to pick fights with people, you're one of two things. You're not having good business or you work for a stupid mouse. We all know we're talking about. Or Nintendo. There's a lot of companies actually. There's a lot of terrible companies and stuff. Yeah, terrible. But yeah. Okay, that's even funnier. They're not even open yet and they're attacking you for your name. So they're angry you beat them to it? Oh, come on. That's awful. That's hilarious too. I mean, you know, it's great. I got lucky because like everything I picked was very easy. I had a friend, I think Silent's like old username was picked by somebody at one point. I had an old Twitter name that's also picked by somebody. It's very strange, but you know, now I've got a new Twitter name and stuff, and you know, it's hard to go like no one's else is going to be the Mad Darus. No one's going to be DarusTheMad. No one's going to copy me like that, especially when I start doing cult activities. Anyways, I digress. Then, yeah, I gotta start working on a hand. Your story's hilarious, right? I like that. So that's some nice icebreaker like storytelling right there. So a car wash company started fighting me over my name on TikTok. They're late to the party and they just want to use it, and they're angry that I stole it to them from the past. Got some like they're gonna send like a T-800 after you or something. It's some Terminators going after you from the future to the past so they can take the name. All right, let's see what can we take off of this. Okay, that was okay. So all those textures were the same there. I do kind of like how they work in some ways for these lines for the fingers, but also it's a little too much. Yeah, a little blurring is a long way for this stuff, I think, honestly, too. You know, the best part about being a grungy cultist is you get to have a lot of issues and errors with your model and no one cares. Right, Works, you want to hear my favorite thing to do to people to make someone angry? That's like getting up in my face. You'll like this probably. You usually like have the kind of same personality. So I do this to Silent all the time, and you will see this on my stream sometimes, and I'm so happy when he says that. He will sometimes get sarcastic with me. Oh, geez, man, thanks a lot. And the best way to respond to people who give you sarcasm like that is I'm always like, you're welcome, man. I do my best for you. Take it like it's an actual situation and play it off that way. Reverse sarcasm is the greatest thing in the world, and oh, it makes them so angry. It's the funniest thing ever. Love it so much. Kill them with counter sarcastic kindness. It just makes them so angry. And then you're getting yelled at because you made them angry because you were just like pretending to be nice to them that way. It's so funny. Yeah, fun fact, I don't know how to do skinning with model making. It's like one of the most basic advanced things you've got to learn to do. I still haven't done it yet. I got probably learn it with this model for the finger because we got the front bit and the back bit. But no, the back bit's kind of got there. I mean, I guess I can just stretch the front bit instead of rotate. It would work better. Yeah, it'll probably work better. I don't want to do any skinning. I don't want to do skinning. Skinning's annoying. Most I don't want to learn how to do it. Basic Vtube model technique. I don't want to learn how to do it. Oh, autistic ADHD. Terminology I should never mention on stream. Not because of myself. but because I might know more about that than everyone else understands. I got a lot to say. Me and talking psychology is like an old person talking politics. I gotta stay away from it. I won't shut up. But I will say this, as far as other people go, I do technically fall under the autism spectrum thing, but technically autism doesn't even exist. It's symptoms more than a condition, and it's mostly the psychological world basically trying to say that everything's a disorder or normative in the same sense, instead of understanding that things are divergent and more of a mental reorder, because we don't have terminology though, and that the actual concept of psychology is maintained by a bunch of people that want to basically believe things like bureaucrats. We're kind of screwed with diagnosis and stuff right now. I had to get that out there. I'm sorry. I bottled that up. There's a reason I'm a VTuber. Anyways, let's see. More lines. It's amazing how in digital art, light colors go so freaking far. Yeah, art is a penny thing. I mean, I want to do model rigging for a living kind of thing. Oh, you got two fur babies too. Me too. Mine has been trying to get on top. There's a story about my little fur baby. My computer, brand new, expensive computer. I finally got an upgrade after like 20 years, right? Like this computer, I've had since I was a child. It old. All of a sudden it shuts down out of nowhere. I'm looking around going, what did I do wrong? What happened to my computer? What's going on? So I tried to debug it, and the problem was that I couldn't debug it. There's no way to debug my computer just falling off, turning off on its own. I did have to decat it, however, because somebody decided they wanted to sleep on top of my tower, especially with their foot against the power button. Nothing's worse than a cat or a dog, like, turning off your machines and making you think something else is going wrong with it. They do it all the time, though. Let's try to cross-hatch this some texture. Oh, they like the chair more than your computer, huh, Bright? Yes, I understand that completely, too. My cats, I found this, or rather a coworker in one of my last jobs discovered this like $20 cat hammock on Amazon, and I got that for my cats. It was like $20. It's huge though, huge little cat hammock. They love that. Put that by my chair, and I can get them to steal for once because they like that. Like, okay, get to be close and that. I think it looks good there. I'll figure a way to get that dirtier looking in a minute. Might need to blur this bit. Let's get that, let's get these selected first so we can blur it a little better without affecting too much. There we go, that's better. So I think one of the hardest things with making a Vtube model is you have to plan in advance what you're planning to do. Honestly, making a Vtube model is probably one of the easiest things on the planet if you were trying to do it simple. I timed myself. I was able to make I showed one of my videos. I made a Vtube model head and animated it and rigged it up to look left, right, up, down. It's a crappy look design because I'm not a good artist, but I got that going within an hour. Oh, that's nice, right? You're just going there unshrimping. I know exactly what you mean, too. I'm actually unshrimped when I'm drawing. I'm actually at my best posture drawing, leaning back and everything, especially because right now I'm streaming. So as I'm streaming, I have to have a good position for my camera to track me. Otherwise, you can't see that nice V Bridger mouth working properly. Also be close enough to my microphone. So I have to have a good posture to do this. And also then my tablet's on my lap and I have to see my tablet and do everything. So I'm actually in my best posture ever doing this stream and drawing everything and stuff. Because otherwise it'd look weird. Hey, let me just check everything while we're here. I haven't checked my stream in a while. I got too involved in everything. So yeah, but it's really cool that you're going around with their artists. I understand it completely because like when I started doing like VTubing and stuff, my whole thing was checking new VTubers and stuff a little bit. Didn't like any of them. Found one I like though. She's fine. She's going to start streaming soon from what I've heard in her last video, and I'll probably be watching that, supporting that. I like seeing other people go through the same troubles and stuff, and then you can kind of like, how to put it, you kind of get that whole understanding of where they go and kind of work and stuff, you know, like you kind of get to know how they're developing and see it for yourself too. You know, it doesn't take a lot of money to stream, but the strength is the hard part, because let me tell you, there's some long streams there, Bright, and I understand completely. I'm actually trying to just get better at the streaming bit a bit, but I also got to get better at the content creation. I'm so neurotic with the content creation that my artistic videos on YouTube get like no views. I think I've got like all my stuff. Some of them get no views for months. Some get a few. Some are liked for tips and helps, but like I have a video explaining properly how Vtube models work. Like there's no information that's direct as this video I made, and I don't even think it's got 100 views yet on that video. But I spent well over 100 hours making it. And then recently I spent an hour with the craziest idea ever, where I probably broke a world record making the world's smallest Vtube model. It's a single pixel, and I just rigged it up to show characterizations and stuff as an experiment. And so I made the world's first Pixtuber model. It's just a single pixel. Had to make it look like a pixel, work like a pixel, act like a pixel, be a pixel. Harder than you think. It was stupid. But I made the world's smallest Vtube model to show people how little you actually have a Vtube model. And even with Vtube models, you don't even need to stream it. You can make little videos and post them and stuff. Just have fun with it. It's really fun to have a characterization stuff. And when you talk to people on voice chats and stuff, they can see you actually there kind of and stuff like that. And you can have all this kind of fun with creativity and adding things, doing crazy stuff with your model, making it look unique and fun and everything. And everyone else just goes, I just want to look like that anime girl. I'm an unorthodox Vtube model maker. My models aren't normal. But that's fine for most people. They like that. I've got a bunch of model improvements coming, though. I have a high-definition beard, comparatively. No, look, not unfortunately have an anime style. Anime style is the basic of all V2 model stuff. Look at my model. You might not think that it is, but if you look at the robes, you can kind of see that two-tone anime style in a way. I just add a lot of other... As everyone's artistic brand is pretty much on every model. But the anime style is the best because what you're doing is an outline with a basic single color, and then you add stuff on there. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Anime Disney mix? I mean, that's popular these days. That's good. But if you're ever curious on how to make a V2 model and you want to make it easy as possible, you're confused about it, I got videos and stuff to make that super easy. Oh, come on. Disney's not looking for great artists. They are looking for corporate slaves. The mouse is after people it can control. It's not after other things. It's not there to be cartoon anymore. Walt's already in the ground. They don't care anymore. It's just Disney, not Walt Disney. The remnants as an empire contains and traps more to maintain the Disney power lines. Oh yeah, own things when you didn't draw when you drew outside it. Yeah, they will try to get you. I'm sure there are so many Disney artists that have their own underground like art thing that they're dating like 10 years in the future when they don't work for Disney or something. There's probably a lot for that. All that corporate stuff with ownership is terrible. Oh, it's crazy stuff out there. Never trust them. Never trust a rat. That's my phrase from now on. Yeah, never trust a rat. You know what? Why don't we have a little fun right now? I've been drawing this finger for a while. Not this finger, not very well. Let me see if I can find the greatest thing ever. There we go. Behold. Oh, wait. He doesn't have his stuff. I never have to draw. There we go. There we go. Now that's correct. This is my favorite piece of work. This is what happened with a, you think this is a picture I drew. No. This is a Vtube model that had an accident in Live 2D, and I thought it was so funny, I just made it even worse. This is the guy that might debut Thursday. You'll see on the background my wall and stuff when I do my videos on other things. Make that nice and big. That way I can obscure more of his model since he hasn't debuted yet, technically. There we go. His model looks a lot better in actual action and the truth. And truthfully, this is a frickin' furry. We have him rotating back and forth. It goes up, and it goes down. I worked my ass off on this model, and he hasn't debuted in 10 months. Very upset about that. I didn't know I could rig a furry, but I rigged a furry, and it looks incredible. I've got a video display I'll show after he debuts to show the actual looks of the model and everything else. Debut is a term more than it is debut as a thing. If you've already got people, you can kind of debut. I technically had a video. A debut is nothing more than announcing you exist. A debut is like saying people, hey everyone, I'm this person, I'm here now. For me, it was just saying, I returned to YouTube, and I'm a VTuber now. Because basically, I used to do Final Fantasy XIV tutorial videos, and my character's based on that design and stuff a lot. So I kind of came back. I already had 600 subscribers. They didn't know I existed anymore. You don't need a lore. All you need to do is, it's just, all a debut video is going, Hello everyone, I'm so-and-so. This is the kind of content you can expect in here. I can't wait to see you later. That's all a debut is. It doesn't have to be an announcement to 1,000 people. A debut is just your first video showing off things. And you don't even have to debut. You can just start making videos. I mean, edits are nothing more than cuts. It's just cutting out the slow parts of the video, and that's it. I have a video in editing. If you want a video in editing by someone who can't edit and hates editing, I have a video tutorial explaining a lot of that stuff too. I do a lot of tutorials and stuff, so I kind of like kept on it, which is very funny. People don't like my tutorials anymore. I used to get so many views. I used to get thousands of views a day on Final Fantasy XIV tutorial videos on how to craft and gather. They love my content. Oh, it was so much. It was so... I remember being upset one day I didn't get 1,000 views. That's the old days and stuff. That's how used to it I got. Then I came back and now it's like, you got 10 views. I'm like, wow, that's a lot today. But a debut is mostly just saying, you've started. So when I say he hasn't debuted, that means as far as anything goes, I can't showcase him ahead of time of him showcasing that he exists to others. It's kind of like showing clips of a movie before the movie is released, you know? It's kind of like spoiling. You don't do that for people and stuff. That's why as a thing, even that was kind of a little iffy. But I have that picture on my back wall in all my videos as a joke, and I've had it there for 10 months, so can't say anything. It's the derp video or derp image, and it's great. I love it so much. It's my favorite thing. Is drawing that, like it looked so terrible. I just drew a mustache and a goatee on it with a Sharpie basically, and posted that up. And that's on the wall background. I have it on all my YouTube videos. You might find that interesting, Bright. I've got even like, I think it was like first short was showing off that background. I spent 4 days drawing it and less than half a day animating it because I do the animation a lot quicker. I love animating. It's so much, it's so easy too with making Vtube models. Like you said, you haven't touched Live 2D yet, right? Well, Live 2D is a very simple thing because the way animations work with Live 2D is so much simpler when you understand it. I haven't done a video on explaining that yet, though I could in the future. People request it. But making animations in Live 2D is so much more different than everything else. Oh, that's because their videos suck. Let me tell you. Oh my God. I spent 2 weeks making my first Vtube model, which honestly is pretty quick to making and animating a Vtube model. What you're seeing before you, my little model on the right here, is a Vtube model made in 2 weeks. I made it animated. That is without having any clue or professional art experience. So animating in Live 2D is very simple. A lot of people don't understand. I'll just explain it here, right? So you've got like the head, right? Okay, I can't draw, so give me a second. You've got the head, you've got the eyes, and you've got the mouth. So what you do is you don't, you're not just, all it is you are then creating a pose. You take all this stuff and you move it around, and you take the shape of the head, right? And instead you have a grid and you move the dots around a little. So what you're trying to do is stretch it so it looks like that. All it is in Live 2D is you are stretching and repositioning parts. So you have the eyes and you would put them here and here, but you're going to squish them, right? And so what you're ending up with is like the far eye might be here. You might squish it down a little too because it's shrinking in the distance. And the other eye, you're going here and you have squished a little bit here a little bit because it's there. And in fact, it might also increase a little because now the eye isn't on the rounded bit over here. It's now more close to the center, facing forward, right? And the nose might be like a little anime thing, but you might just do it there or something like that. I don't know how it would work on that. The nose generally should be like I don't know how I don't know how to do noses. I mean, I did a mask instead. That's another trick. You don't have to have things the same way, but like the mouth would go from here, and then you would squish it into shape here. And that's how it works. You basically, of course, really you don't even want to go all the way to the side. Sometimes you want to rotate a little bit, because you don't have to rotate all the way. You can rotate just a little, and then just have the same head, but your mouth is a little bit here, and your eyes are a little bit here. You don't have to do a lot. Forgive the terrible art. But really, all V2 model animation is just you taking everything and just making the final pose of the animation. You are just moving the parts around and squishing and stretching and molding them to fit how it would look in the final thing. So you basically composite all the parts, look that way. So this whole animation of me looking left and right, up and down, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. There is no animation of me doing this. I have a pose this here, I have a pose here, pose here, pose here, and then I use the program to kind of create the poses in the corners and then just edit them from there. But I basically have a pose for the eyes in this spot, I have the pose for the mouth, pose for the head, entirety, and you're basically doing it piece by piece. If you want a little bit more guide to kind of understanding how the Live 2D works and stuff, you can look at my video on YouTube, which is how V2 models actually work. Put a lot of work into that. That's a 100-hour project right there. It's a 30-minute video that basically talks about how V2 models work in like 2 seconds to 20 minutes. It covers it a little bit more in depth every time. So we talk about how it works, talk about how it actually is structured mechanically, and then talk about how the art is set up and how the animations are set up and how that works together to help people basically go for the part one understanding of V2 models. So like here, like all I'm going to be doing is having a hand click or mouse click, mouse not click for it. So the finger will move a little bit. That's all that's going to happen. And all the parts connected to it will move a little bit too. And as a result, it will look like it's moving forward a bit. That's all. That's all it's going to have. Just a little bit just to make it alive. And I might make the entire finger move up and down with a rotator and stuff, because then it's all connected. I don't have to worry about any issues with that. There's a lot going on with this stuff, but it can be very simple in the end. But their tutorial does not do the best. Nothing explains things for people that aren't prepared for it. So, a lot of my understanding of molding and stuff comes from a past experience with other games that kind of have that in there. And so I kind of have a background knowing things. I used to play a game called Second Life back in the day. I don't like to talk about it too much. It's a little old past back then, right? But that made over $1,000 US selling items on that game, and that was back when I was not good at anything. That looks terrible in all the best ways. I love it. Oh, look at that. Terrible texture. Oh, so good. Look how terrible and grimy that looks. That's what we want. You need like people to show you kind of thing. Well, you can always join a Discord so people can like show you like as you're doing it and stuff and explain it to you that way. But I like to do tutorials in ways that can be explained to person like I was there showing people directly. That's a very important thing I kind of feel that a lot of people miss. Because like animating in Live 2D is very easy. Because honestly, you don't have to push the model too far. But I'm telling you, the video I have shows a lot of how it explains how it works and stuff, and it's made to be for people that have no idea what any of that is. That's the problem. A lot of tutorials are like, all right, everyone, now we're going to cover something really advanced that's not so advanced because we've been doing this for 20 years. it's not going to work well. So a lot of the tutorials I do are made to help entry-level people become past entry level. It's for moderate and stuff. So like, you know, those tutorials are just hard. I'm actually for a lot of them are actually pretty good though, but you have to have a background and understanding what's going on before you figure it out. I don't even know what mouth form, mouth open kind of meant or worked with. I didn't understand the idea of if two parameters were linked to the same object, they worked as like alternations of it. Like a combination lock is what it ended up being, pretty much. So there's so much more to it than anything explained to me, and that was made it really hard. And, difficult times, you know? Just difficult times. No, I feel like the index finger is actually pretty good for this. Now to put off the things I really don't want to have to deal with. The fingers. That doesn't look good. I mean, but at the same time, they're not going to be moving much. It's just to look right behind the other parts. That's all it's going to be seen is right there in the background and right here. So what you got to think about is this is only visible here and here. I guess before I get on this group, we got to redo the knuckles. Let's go up to the glove and look at redesigning that a bit. God, gloves that got so many parts here. Look at that. Look at all those parts. Oh, that's a shadow. My whole thing is hodgepodge. This is my whole thing, so. Alright, let me try to figure out what am I doing here, honestly. You know, like, yeah. You know, what's really funny is one of the reasons I think I'm starting to stream like the creation aspect here is funny thing with my model, I cannot do mouths. I cannot do humans. I can't do people. I can't do creatures. Well, I mean, depends on the kind of creature, you know. We're talking about something that shouldn't exist. Probably can do that. But anyways, I digress. I'm better at objects. And a big thing with my model was the lips and the beard. And I'm like silent. I'm showing him. I get him on I streamed to him on Discord, and I'm like, look, man, I just want to show you how bad this is. Look at this. It's impossible for me. I want to show you my problems. I want you to look at how terrible it is. I want to show you that I can't draw. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at me try to do the lips. See this? I'm drawing the lips. I'm like doing them. Control Z. I'm like, look at this. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Oh, that actually. Oh, holy crap. That looks good. Well, I can't do the bottom lips. Okay, that was good in one go. Okay, so I drew the lips. I would just draw, Control Z, draw, Control Z, draw, Control Z, draw, Control Z. And it's like, bloop. One day I'm just like, woo, like, oh, like, that looks great, right? Did perfect lips. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you know what, Silent? I can't do a beard. Look at me do a beard. Look at me draw a beard. And then next thing I know, I do a proper, like, line style. I'm like, okay, that worked. Okay, so the times I tried to prove to somebody I couldn't draw was the time I ended up succeeding. Does it have anything to do with anything? No, but it's a funny story. Hopefully, one of these days this week, and maybe some other time, we're going to have a chat box here in the side for everyone to see the chatter going on and all the weird stuff that happens. A lot of you weird guys here late at night on YouTube. My God. Very weird. Very strange. You guys okay? Oh, well. Not my place to care. Anyways. See, what have we had happen today? Help, they stole my skin, and I'm Jesus. That's what we've had from YouTube today. Wow, I had 36 views on YouTube. They like the art, I guess. Or at least something of art. My favorite thing about having people watching on streams, more than anything else, is just that if there's an error, an issue or something, people will call me out on it, and we can resolve it. What I hate a lot on streams is that nobody talks a lot of times. So when there's an issue, it goes on for like 40 minutes. Oh, I've lost some really good streaming footage because of that before. I am still sad to this day when me and Silent were playing the lockdown. And my microphone was regrettably muted the entire time. It was due to a computer reset, changing what the thing was with OBS. Changed the input for microphone. And so, yeah, it was, oh, it's a lot better, actually. Might be salvageable here. I darkened it a lot better, too. Let's see. Like they've already been blurred in the edges. They don't look very good though. Oh well. Whoops. Like that's a little too straightforward. Much better, actually. Oh, that's good now. Okay. Probably same with here, right? Okay, looks okay. Wow, that's I could do better with it. Should add a counter on my streams when I'm playing Noite. I'm going to probably blow myself up a few times today. It looks fine, I think, for what we're trying to do. That's not gonna be the best, right? I'm not, you know, AAA quality here. Just, you know, that guy. Let's crap this one off. Let's mess with this guy. Let's get this. I should. No, that's not erase. We're gonna do. Oh, I almost started drawing on the wrong layer. We have to do it on this one instead. That's we'll try to do some angled approaches to stuff, right? Makes it look better. Add some scratching and stuff to it that makes it look proper, I guess, would be a better way to say it. I ain't controlling it, what's wrong with it? I'll keep some of the scratches better. A few lines here and there help. Having straighter lines make it more geometrical, or whatever you want to call it. A little bit of noise by lightly drawing on it. And now we see if this works the way I hope it does. Does it work or not? Kind of does. A little extra texture behind it. I know I'm probably overdoing the texturing and stuff for the model being so already... You know, we're doing straightforward stuff for a lot of stuff. And I kind of feel I'm pushing it too far. Adding too much grit. We're getting close. My whole goal this whole stream is to force myself to get this model a little bit more ready for release. Or at least for rigging. I want it for rigging. Not for rigging. Rigging's gotta be enough. Because once we're ready in rigging, we can... I can animate this thing in like an hour. I'm not joking. As long as I have an idea what I'm doing. Especially because this is going to be easy. Making a drawing model... Theoretically, I've not looked at anything on it. Because I don't think I need to, because it's just that simple. Like I said, we're just doing like 3 or 4 parameters. We're going overkill on it though. We are doing overkill. That's why there's so many parts to it right now. I'm putting so much effort into it. I am going to try to overkill the heck out of this model, unfortunately. But there's a point for everything, right? That's why we're doing it that way. Let me see. Maybe I can do some scratching on this. Yep. Now we're going back to. We'll try something here I want to do. More deliberate scratching. Let's see if I can get some texturing out of that better. No, I want to undo that one. No, give that one back. See if this might. a better design or something. A little bit of vertical stylization, maybe. Okay, let's see if that does anything. I want to test this out. It's giving some kind of texture to it. So opacity first, or then we'll do it again. Testing opacities with scratching effects and blur at the same time. See if we can get some more design to it, texture, grit. See, we're doing leather is the whole point. I don't want to do like a old crusty leather, not like a brand new shiny BDSM club rubber kind of looking leather. So the whole point. So yeah. I should go for the these things first. A little bit of light was a long way to stop. You go 50%, probably better than the 100% we have, and 20%. I guess fingers might be different when you come to grit and stuff with various things when it comes to holding things when you're, you know, using a gloved hand and stuff. Gotta get to the... What's up there? I always start with Kazoo, so I always know when the streams, like, all the music has rotated again. Because this is the one I like to start with. I think they listed it as kids music, which honestly fits my childish demeanor so much. I think it fits me just fine. A lot of people probably think I'm just stupid. Ah, that was a overlay so I could... So this does have some weird looks to it already, so we probably need to work on this. Okay, let's get that. Let's see, what is... Oh, you gotta turn off the other stuff. It's the hard part about it. So now we have to turn off the hands and everything and go back down to the glove. Watch me forget and use the old thumb instead, because I'm stupid. Yeah, it just looks off right here, especially. Maybe we should redraw it all. Then I can at least get everything a little bit more under control. I don't like redrawing it all, though. Because, let's just face it, it's so much work. I mean, for a lot of draw artists and stuff, I think it's a lot easier for them. You know, the ones that are quick at it and stuff. My problem, really, though, isn't my speed. Honestly, I know I say it, but The true problem I have more than anything else is vision. I can never know what I'm drawing. I can't picture it in my head. Now, if I have an idea in my head, though, we can do a lot more than you think. I even got a straight. I don't even have a straight light drawing hand either. Which is weird. I have a very, very large span of the hand. Now I'm drawing too. It's like I can do straighter lines using tools. But tools don't give you the irregularities that you want. These irregularities create character, design, shapes, and valleys. It makes it look better. Because nothing goes the way we want in life. And same with art. And every shape of everything, too. So I like to put that mistake into my style. And I feel that does a lot better. Once to get some of the basic design, we're going to redo that proper, I guess. I really do enjoy this sometimes, though. Even though I complain about it all the time. For me, it gives me a lot of control, you know? A lot of control what's going on, how things need to work, etc. It's just doing more late night streams anyways. Met some more interesting people here than usual. I'm still going to think about Help They Stole My Skin all night long. That was funny. I'm going to cue silent of that though on Friday for sure. Just gonna break that in the middle of our fight. Did you steal one of my viewers' skins, Silent, again? I told you stop. The doctor said the cholesterol is not good for you. Might just bring it up earlier so I can have the joke sooner. It was just too funny. It's like you can see how horrible this whole finger set looks, right? We've got this knuckle bit here. Looks terrible, guys. My work looks terrible. But remember, second. I need to check. Okay. I had to make sure that the music stopped. Like, what? Did I forget to set to restart again? What happened to it? But it ran away again. My thoughts. I can't catch it or remember it. I remember now. So it looks terrible, this model, right? It looks horrible. Look, everything looks terrible here. Oh my god, it's hideous. But remember. Okay, I forgot the aspect. The whole thing is we're not showing all of it. It's not as important. But I mean, I should probably try better in some ways, you know? I don't know if that's like, because I should probably, yeah. I need to work on the parts underneath here or something. So what we need to do here is probably get a proper layout of the fingers. Section them off. Figure out how that would go. Let me try to get this over. Let's see how much you got. Okay, that looks absolutely horrendous. Okay. I got drawn enough of the parts. I think a problem too is we're not deciding on properly which ones would go on top where. So we'll go over that a bit here. We'll start trying to fix it up, I guess. That should do much more straight lines instead of just sketch lines here. Let's see how that looks. Whoops. I'm gonna do that. Then we can. So it works with that, I guess. I mean, they're not bad. How do they fit well? You know, it's like, I've done wrong with it, you know. I mean, because honestly, these are background parts. These are background parts. They're not foreground parts. They're background parts. So, yeah, we got to figure out, you know, how to make the right certain ways and stuff. You know, it's all simplicity in the end. Use my mouse a little bit for control. I'll do a style in a second. Good, I think. I think we got a better design than we had. Whoops. Now you can tell, obviously, this is going to look. This is horrible. This is not art. This is, however, animation. It does not have to be good. It does not have to be work hard. It's like if you were able to create a great-looking character, but your feet just did not look good ever, and you just never draw the feet, you're fine. Your model's fine. You don't have to draw the feet. You never show them. But what if also you were hiding them in something else? Well, if you couldn't draw feet, but you drew feet anyways for barefoot, whatever, but you could draw shoes. You draw shoes over them. You don't show the rest. It's fine. It's all fine. It's always been fine. Never fear. Your work is fine. But mine is still ugly, and I am still a terrible artist. I am an art butcher. I have neither the skills, the techniques, or the knowledge to truly be an artist. But that's fine. I have the talent to do animation, and that's all that matters to me. If I ever was working with an artist, I could do a lot better on this stuff because, well, you know, I have to work on the art part. Slowest part for me is getting the assets to build with. The best way to explain this to people is, for me, this is like I'm a carpenter, but I have to cut down my own trees and create everything from scratch. Awful. So awful. There we go. Fingers 2.0. Yeah, some fat fingers. Of course, it's supposed to be a gloved hand. So obviously, you know, you got to have things like that, honestly. So it's fine. But at the same time, we're going to try and figure things out a bit more. Let's get this redesigned a bit first. I don't see that side there. I can't really. Now I'd be a little lower. For this. You see how the lines aren't perfect? I'm doing a gloved hand, right? So it's not a big deal. I'm doing a little touch up here and there, though, you know. We're going to blur this all in the end so that everything kind of anti-aliases together. But the aspect is not to look perfect. It's to look correct. And correct is never perfect. At most of the time. A lot of people want their models just looking so pristine and perfect. You know, a lot of times you get all the models with like perfect bodies, perfect face, but is it really perfect or just boring? Some are fun that way though, I guess. But this is just me going off on that late night thought pattern. Now it's a lot better with all the scrunches, I think. A little bit of hard lines just to reiterate that they're shape, you know. But again, you know, in the end, it's just to fit here and look good. The fingers aren't going to move much at all. The middle fingers of the section aren't going to move hardly any. We're not going to show the illusion of this area right here at all. I guess it would be here. This illusion will not be shown. But we're building more just in case we do decide to move it a little bit. We might rotate them a little bit, you know, a little down, a little something like that. Have a little bit of a jib and jab with it. Though it's got to follow the glove so it doesn't fall out. We don't want any white spots to appear or other things. It's got to look good. Let's see everything here going on. Man, 6 more people showed up on the, check me out, see what's going on. Yep, just him. Of course, then again, I'm just making a hand. I'm not doing anything special, everyone. It's just a hand. Like that, and we'll blur this one here. Do this for everything here, honestly. Select here, go for this part, and blur these next sections a bit more too. They'll do the final area here. This has got to be a little bit more, well, you know. And we can do this. They're far enough apart. They don't need to worry about the blur effects causing problems. Oh, look at that. Oh, missed one. We can fix this easy though. Ta-da. Now we just... no blur here. then we can blur here. It won't affect the other parts. Now, since we have the blackout, don't worry. We'll be fine. So what we're lacking really with that is shading. Which is the difficult part here. I mean, tell you, we have to deal with that and that and that and that. Get rid of this section. I think where to put the shading on this. Like how I should do that. I guess we do a bit on the sides here, and a little underneath. Will this look good after all? I need to make more overlays, I think, with the streams. Otherwise, I'll never grow the cult, you know? We don't even have an idea of what we're culting about yet. It's going to change all the time, but you know, I mean, you know, we've got to get something started, I think. Music bit, you know. I like these, even though they're YouTube things. A lot of things will tell you that you don't need the YouTube music. You need this great new service that costs all this money for your music because it's so superior. It'll make your streams and everything so good. Your videos so excellent. Why would you ever use YouTube? You should definitely use this service. Blah blah blah. But the YouTube music has thousands, and there's a lot of just independent artists put it on there. They're good. People don't need to freak out over everything sometimes, you know. A lot of the free stuff is some of the best stuff out there. Kind of like government cheese. I hear that stuff's amazing. Never had it myself. Legends of the government cheese. Echo. For all to hear. For those who don't know about it, apparently the government, years ago, they started supporting dairy farmers by buying cheese, and the only way to deal with so much cheese was to make, I mean, so much milk. They bought milk, and the only way to deal with so much milk was to make it into cheese, right? And they made a huge stockpile. There's like a Fort Knox, basically, of cheese out there. And if you are, if you get like, you know, food stamps or something, you can like get access to government issued cheese. And apparently, it's incredible. Like super, like the best cheese in the world. They say it's just amazing. It's strange, probably unhealthy as hell, but who cares, right? Let's go over 5 or 6 on this. A little off, honestly. Let me see here. We can do better with that. Ah, here, I have too much here. That's the problem. That's the holdup. Okay, that should fix it, I think. Yeah, we'll go for 10, maybe duplicate it. Oh, that works great. That works great. I was going to improve it a little bit more later. But, you know, we got it good so far. Look at that. Look how good that looks, guys. I mean, it's okay. It didn't look great. But, you know, it looks good enough. Also, we're using the old hand here. Look how that thumb used to look. We did such a good job early. We got it good. We got improvement. Okay, now we'll do this section. Let's try that. Oh, that's a wrong thing entirely. Also, wrong spot entirely. Let me get a little thicker for the other fingers over it. You know, the fun thing about Vtube models is shadows are everything. A lot of people don't understand that. The difference between a great and a good Vtube model is really the shading. You can have, not just like in the art, most people rely on the art, but I'm talking about active shading. Like the idea here is to make it so the, well, not so much here, maybe so though. But shadows that move, they're a separate layer. They give you a lot more impact with your model and stuff. Now, most of my work here is hodgepodge. It's not like a proper artist. Like I say before, I'm not an artist. I just do art. There's a difference. Now, does that mean I can't do things? I mean, obviously, you're seeing things here. So, there's a lot I can do. And a lot I will do, too. For the most part, I just keep it simple and easy. You know, relax a little with it. Look at that. That's actually pretty decent. Huh. Haha. We're doing art, everyone. Look at that. Okay, on to the next. I don't even think the pinky shows up in anything either. So, oh my god, I really suck. Okay, I keep forgetting to change my layers. Very important to do. Oh, I should cause problems. It's also a reason I frequently freak out and duplicate my parts a lot. That way I'm working with a copy and not the main bit, just in case there's an issue. I'm honestly enjoying drawing a lot more, streaming it than normal. That's a pretty nice thing to have happen, honestly. Plus, I get streams out of it. Plus, I teach the YouTube algorithm. I make YouTube models instead of just, I'm a screamy guy online that yells at games. Yeah, plus it gets me out there a bit more for the model stuff I do. Though again, it's not the art. It's the rigging I specialize in. I can even show. Maybe I'll show the rigging of this too. I honestly feel like it's a 10-minute job. I mean, the rigging is simple for me. Then testing. There's just so much going on with other stuff. I don't know if I'll stream that, you know. Make certain shapes with the shadows to really make it up. Again, it will not be seen. But we're doing anyways, just in case. I decide to like move it around a little. Yeah, it's done. Raise it to 10. Like the others have been. Then duplicate so it's thicker. Merge the duplications, and we got 1, 2, 3. What was this for? Oh, that was just those fingers, but it's okay. There's fingers 2.0. Well, kind of 2.0. Yeah, you know, it's close enough to 2.0 kind of thing. Problem I have though is this here. It looks fine like that because you can kind of see the curve, but here it's like weird. I'll fix it in animation. I can modify and rig pictures better in live 2D than this, so that'll be fine. Of course, that's the old hand. Let's see what the new hand looks like with this. Does it fit? Does it still look okay? Yeah, it looks okay. When you add the other parts, it looks great. By the way, that's the design we were originally going for, but I don't know if I'll go with the let's see if I get that picture of it. Okay, that's what we're trying to go with, like the concept I have a while back and stuff. Yeah, I was going to go with like a torn finger thing there, but we're not going with that yet. I can still tear it in the future. I gotta have a whoopsie moment. Where's index? Index and thumb. I mean, all in all, guys, it's not terrible. I think I could probably fix that a little bit too. I don't know if I even need to really like do a lot more for it. Maybe I can just, oh, that's not a drawable. Okay, there. So that's the black line. I don't have to worry much about it. I don't want it too thick there. I don't want it to cause me problems. Too much design look. How that look when it's blurred a bit so we can get the anti-aliasing going on. I mean, honestly, a little blurred wouldn't be half bad because it's like saying it's in the background. I want to add some blur to everything, but still. It keeps the... I just use blur to give the anti-aliasing thing, get rid of the line edges. Which is honestly not the best. But at the same time, I think Live 2D does it. Like when you get to Vtube Studio, I think that does it automatically. So that's another thing with that and stuff. Oh, it's 4 in the morning. We've been running late with this. Let's add some texture to the fingers, and we'll call it a night then with that, because I feel like not the best idea to stick around too much with it. But then again, it's also me getting work done, so I'm not too sad with this compared to other times. But I got another stream in 14 hours. We'll be playing games. Well, I'll be playing a game. I'll do some Noita again because why not? What am I doing? Wrong button. There we go. What the? What is with my thing? It's not working. It's not set to curses. It's set to the it's set to the color of the glove. No wonder I wouldn't get any drawing going. Get some design. We'll get some direction going with this, like the fingers. That might help improve it a bit. Get the segment kind of like designs that way. Oh, so you got lines going now. Let's see if we blur that. That's a bit of texture. I like that actually. I like that a lot. Now let's get some highlights. now we blur these colors. All right, so we've added shadow, we've added light, we've added texture. Side, honestly, we're just gonna add black out here. Is all. Kind of round that knuckle up a little bit. Really should do more art streams now that I started finally. Of course, once we get the arm done, you know, I mean the hand done, or whatever we want to call this, the drawing model. That's the whole point of this, is this will be drawing for me. The question is how much is going to be in the way or not, you know. If I can use it for other things. If I don't use it for art projects, I'm going to use it for videos and animations and stuff. Just for funsies. I think it can do a good job. Like drawing on a marker board or something and just doing funny things with it. I think that's entirely very useful. Which is one of the reasons I'm putting so much effort into this model, yeah. It's going to be something I'm going to reuse a lot. And at the end, we're going to blur everything together. And that should... Is that the first? That's the old thumb. Ew, look how ugly that is. Look how ugly that is, everyone. Look how ugly it is. And then we got the new thumb. Oh, it's a lot better. I mean, it's still pretty bad looking for the most part. But that's because it's indented. We had everything together. Oh, it's a lot better. Let me see. Do I have any showcasing of how it looked beforehand? Let me see real quick. I got something in this. Let me see. I got a folder for it. Oh, give me a second. I was trying to see which one had the design on it best. I mean, I have the thumbnail. We can look at that real quick. See, that's the original just design what I was going to do. It's like, I was like, didn't know which finger I was cutting out or whatnot. I didn't cut out any instead. I could still do that. But the reason I'm not is it's a lot harder if I do that for my model and the full body when I added hands one day. And I'm going to one day. But this is my handception concept. So you can see this here versus here. I mean, it's been improved upon drastically in a lot of ways. Little tiny bits here and there. The knuckles are way better instead of just being up there. I mean, I could have just left it like this. I do not have to animate the hand, everyone. I don't have to animate it to look good and do stuff. I don't. I really don't. We're just doing this to add some life and flavor to it and to make it, well, better for the most part. Everything be animated in. I don't know if I even need to really rough up the sleeve much, honestly. We can just work on that animation. But we're just trying to make it gritty and good. We can work on the other things to it. I'm just going to hit save, though, so all that hard work does not go down the crapper. But, you know, we've got a good bit done here. At least, what was that? Where does that light come from? What was the, that would have been the highlight, wouldn't it? Or is that just because of shadow? Oh, no, that's the highlight. Which is weird here because the knuckle there is where the highlight should be. Let's sit there a little bit. Maybe I can do that real quick. We'll fix that up real quick. We'll get some highlights for the knuckles. I feel that's important. blur the crap out of them. Or at least a little bit. Then we'll... maybe not. Let's try to get a little coaster on it. Doesn't look very white. Oh, I mean, yes, the shadows on top. There we go. That's much better. Lighting should be on top. It'll look better when the lines are blurred a little bit and work better. Which one was? Okay, I see a little bit. That's really hard to see. My God. I put too much details in it, honestly. I mean, we're trying to do some grittiness to it and other things for fun. But then again, it can be a different style. It's the close-up of the hand. It can look like gross SpongeBob, which honestly, if I could draw that like that kind of stuff, would be hilarious. Add all sorts of grunginess to it. So what's left here is really just anti-aliasing everything with blur. Might move some stuff around, like the knuckle parts, so some more line with them and stuff. But other than that, I'm just trying to see what the end thing is before we end the stream real quick. I might lengthen the sleeve so that I can have an even smaller arm, because then we have all the way to the elbow kind of thing, just like off screen, but you can still see it. Because honestly, we don't need it so big that it blocks out the sun. Because if I like draw up here in the top corner, I think I drew some white there. Just make sure I don't have too much. Okay. So if I don't have the corner and I don't have it like twisting enough to go off that, it'll cause a problem. So we want to be able to do that. Now another thing too is an effect I can do is a go to the edge of it and basically make the arm transparent at the very tip so that it disappears. That will mean that it kind of looks like it goes off screen. Doesn't matter because you just kind of see it like fading out, and that will give me a long length of it. Oh, but everyone, I don't know if anyone's watching still, but a lot of you have watched. And thank you all for tuning in for this first, actually it's the first art session, because I haven't done this before. Because I was going to do it after drawing the hand. But I decided, why not draw the hand and do the art so I can get my butt to work. Oh, I can see the YouTube chatter. God, that's funny. Anyways, thank you everyone who tuned in or is watching this in the future, which probably no one's going to watch it all the way through. It's just me rambling while drawing a single hand. My God, we've been doing this for 3 hours and 20 minutes. And I've hardly gone anywhere. This is what I mean by I'm not an artist. I'm too slow. And the music is the perfect thing to end on, because this is how we started. So, again, thank you everyone who tuned in and has been tuning in. If you like more of this, be sure to leave me a comment on YouTube. We will rig it or something more one day. I might do shorter sessions. It's a 3-hour art session because I had fun. Because honestly, as a chatter, that made it a lot more fun than normal. Because my friends don't care about art. They don't care about the models. They don't care about streaming or VTubing. But thank you, everyone. I will see you all later in 13 and a half hours. We're playing Noita. I will see you all then for anyone who tunes in.